love lost here. This is what I was talking about, Shorty. These welterweights do not like each other.
So in my fighter breakdown, this is a tall, technical fighter in Carlos Matos and a small, wild fighter in Elias Santos. Elias really just needs to be himself, be wild, be unpredictable, especially against a technical guy. He's going to have to really take some time to find out what his opponent is doing next. Technique versus technique, that's easy to counter. That's easy to figure out what's going to happen and even prepare for. But wild, you don't know what's coming next. And for Elias Santos, look at that length. Use it. Take the center of the cage. Throw jabs. Throw your teep kicks. And throw your feints like that.
So you're telling me if this was boxing, this would be Hagler-Hearns?
Yeah.
Nice outside leg kick there from Lamole. And Elias Santos is a fire plug. Look at the legs and the arms on him. You pack 170 onto 5'8" or 5'9", it gets real thick. Especially when he rehydrates to 180, 185. He's a fire plug.
Oh, beautiful outside leg kick. That was like cranked all the way back.
Elias Santos was nominated for Best Fight of the Year, the Dominican Republic MMA Awards Show 2021. Also holds a blue belt.
Oh, and a beautiful big overhand right, missed.
That must be the Matador.
Yeah, that's the Matador right there. And his big statement is easy money, but so far, doesn't look as easy yet, but he really hasn't retaliated. Carlos Matos looks like he's really taking his time to try to figure out his opponent. Again, being a wild fighter, it takes you a little longer to really start to think, what is this wild fighter gonna do? But man, Carlos Matos is taking those leg kicks and hasn't checked one, and I believe it's about to get taken down. Now what can Carlos do off his back, and what is Elias gonna do on top? He just did a 180 so far, twice. Took him away from the fence and brought him back. But this is what I don't want to see from any fighter is immediately once they're on their back, they just body lock, they hold on. Meaning they don't really have a game to escape. They don't really have a game to attack. They're just waiting for the ref to stand them up. And the only bad thing is refs are different. It can take 15 seconds, it can take a full minute, if not even the whole round. That's not the best game plan, especially as a professional.
Yeah, the ref is showing no inclination to stepping in whatsoever.
We saw a little clapper by him. We saw a little clap.
And what's, Elias Santos is a large reason for that. He's active, He's throwing shots to the body. He's trying to posture up, trying to let that elbow go on the left-hand side. Because he's staying active enough to prevent the stand-up. This is a great position for Lamole.
And the good thing is, like you said, he's staying active enough because every time he has those little spurts, and the ref's like, all right, you've added another 10 seconds.
All right,
you've added another 10 seconds.
Keep buying time. That's kind of like my daughter when, she's milking me on all of these online sites and buying more time.
Oh, yeah. No, I get it.
Just tuning in, you are watching Titan FC 75. This is a title fight. Fighting Force, in conjunction with Titan FC, has the 170 strap at stake here tonight in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And they've really rolled the red carpet out for us here at Titan FC. We love the partnership, and finally the stand-up. And El Matador was able to stifle Lamole long enough to get that stand-up. Minute to go here in round number 1.
That's the hard part. Even though you did get that stand-up, you have a minute to try to win this round. Oh, beautiful overhand right.
Bad intention on that. That was close to a low strike, but Santos seemed to have apologized, and Matos took it. Underhooks now for Matos. Very careful, because once Santos gets low, it's really hard to stop. And he just generates a lot of power. You look at those legs, and when he changes levels and lifts, they're going for a ride.
You know, and again, like you said, this is a world title fight for the Fighting Force. And the guys who operate this, I mean, with the commission, the promotion owners, and everyone behind the scenes, Fernando, Domingo.
Shorty.
Yes.
Santos took a swing after the bell, well after the bell. It wasn't like a punch you, but it was like a slap, an open, it was a Will Smith.
There's a lot of bad blood,
Yeah.
and that's more disrespectful than the punch. But like I was saying, you know, the guys who run the show behind the scenes, Rodolfo, Domingo, and Fernando, man, they just keep on pushing the pace and having so many great opportunities for these Dominican fighters. That is a huge thing. And as we saw back in the fighter replay, Elias Santos, again, mixing up his punches, mixing up his kicks, and those kicks are vicious enough to get the El Matador walking forward, and Elias Santos was able to get a beautiful takedown and really, in my eyes, win the round.
So Matos getting his in-between round adjustments, and there you see Santos getting the lactic acid shaken out of both arms. You know, when you're that jacked, it actually can be at times a disadvantage, carrying so much muscle, and that muscle needs oxygen.
Yep.
You know, whereas you got a lean, lanky guy like Matos, and you're not having the same amount of lactic acid issues. But Matos not able to implement his game plan very successfully, at least to this point, as we go into the second round. Here we go. I'm guessing they're not going to touch gloves.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely
Indeed,
not.
It will not happen. Both of these welterweights looking to counter punch here, waiting for the other to make a move. Nice outside leg kick there from Santos.
And Carlos just does not check leg kicks at all. Beautiful straight right hand by Elias. And Matos, Carlos is just, he's just playing defense. He's countering the beautiful knee inside, but he's really just countering. He's staying too patient, I think.
I agree. He's not pushing his game. And he should be moving side to side, sticking that jab in Santos' face. He's really playing Santos' game.
Well, and that's, honestly, that's what Carlos Matos had in his last fight with Titan. I think he fought Delano Taylor, the champion, and he just was not active enough. Yes, it was a last-minute fight, but he just didn't show up. He took it too much as a game, like he wasn't being hurt, so he never really needed to try.
Ankle pick from Santos.
You're losing a fight because you're not opening up. You're just not being yourself.
And this is very strategic for Santos. The fans might not like it, but this is dominant position. This is control, getting control points. He's not getting picked apart from distance. Taking away the reach. I'm guessing the reach is substantial difference when you look at the difference in height, 5'9" to 6'2". So Santos keeping things in nice and tight is absolute brilliance.
Well, that's what he needs to do. Again, he takes away the length. He even takes away, you know, Carlos's strength. But Carlos is able to get a nice, beautiful body lock here. Oh, inside trip attempt, but Elias, he has really good balance.
How about the legs on Santos?
That too, but.
And finally, Matos gets his way.
And he's trying to reach for that far arm, but is he able to bring it all the way in? Halfway into round number 2. You know, this can start leaning towards Carlos Matos' side.
Yeah, right. If he can maintain control for the dominant amount of time and pull off a round, we're looking at a pick'em going into the third. Anybody's fight. But still a couple minutes to go here in the second round. Matos now taking the back of Santos. Looking to put the hooks in. Good wrist control for Santos. Santos now, great move. Up and out and into the closed guard of Carlos Matos.
And that just shows how athletically talented he is. He's super strong, very versatile, and just brings Carlos immediately to the fence. But could he implement some ground and pound?
And this is where we were before, when Matos was trying to get that stand-up. He's got the closed guard. He's keeping Santos in tight. He does not want those big arms, letting elbows drop on his face. Shoulder punches now from Santos, a la Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva, Conor McGregor, a lot of guys are doing it now, and it's a huge thing. We have the butterfly guard, and he goes under. Is he gonna go for an Ashigami position? No, he gets up and gets his own little double leg. Beautiful scramble by Carlos Matos. But you see Elias trying to go for a guillotine choke, but doesn't have the right position and puts himself on his back. Beautiful escape by Carlos, and now taking that side mount. But is he gonna implement a bomb fluke choke? 30 seconds to do it. That left arm is trapped. Can he put that pressure, that left shoulder pressure on Elias's neck? Enough to get that choke. This is a really hard choke to finish. Unless you're over and say improve. Oh, and he goes over. He used that momentum properly. Carlos was great at putting the pressure, but it was just too much forward pressure, and Elias took advantage of that momentum.
What a scramble.
Wow.
That was incredible. Back and forth.
Carlos takes his mouthpiece out, puts it back in.
Wow, what a great sequence.
The back and forth fight.
Back and forth fight. Wow. Don't forget, still coming up, the vacant Titan FC lightweight belt is at stake as Reinaldo Acevedo steps in to face Landon the Lone Wolf Quinones. Quinones out for 2 years due to a leg injury, and he is on a mission. And Acevedo is looking to derail the Lone Wolf here tonight. And also a featured bout in the heavyweight division will be 5 3-minute rounds of kickboxing. Oscar Sosa, the heavy-handed bulldozer here in the Dominican Republic, knocking people out left and right, will face the Spark, Alex Nicholson, who is genetically incapable of having a boring fight. And that's all coming up and more right here on Titan FC. Stay with us. All right, time for the third and final round between these welterweights going for the strap. Don't forget, the Fighting Force welterweight 170-pound belt is at stake here tonight. Here we go.
And Matos now putting that pressure, but Elias, oh, beautiful outside sweep. And now Matos is really trying to show his power, his side of the game. He's on top. Can Elias try to do anything to scramble right now? He has that overhook, but he's pressed up against the fence. I don't see him really trying to do any, jiu-jitsu submissions or even attempts to use that to get out.
Yeah, it's a pretty static guard. But he knows he's going to get some time down there because Matos got a lot of time, both in round 1 and 2, on his back. Elbows now.
And
from
beautiful
Matos.
elbows, too. They're so controlled. I like how one arm is just pressing against and just creating that space.
You're Elias Santos, what's the defense here? Well, how do you get out of this, Shorty Torres?
I mean, for me, you have your feet on the fence. Use that to turn. If not, use that to push off. But he has one of the one leg to the spider guard. Looks like he's trying to go for a triangle here. Use that as the triangle to try to get that room as he had there to get under the legs to escape. Maybe even go for your own shot. But Elias, again, it's a transitions part. he can go for the attempts, but then doesn't implement anything after the attempt doesn't work.
Man, Santos got to put something together here. He's going to lose this fight. Matos dropping some elbows now. Some are getting through and some aren't, but those ones that are getting through are nasty. Oh, 2 punches. 2 punches. I think Santos is in trouble. He's not, his hands are not defending his face.
He's not as explosive, and I think that's what Carlos Matos was trying to do, was let Elias Santos burn himself out. And Elias just seems done. Like, he's not quitting, but I don't think his body is retaliating anywhere that he wants to be.
Matos was trying to lobby the referee, but there's still plenty of life in Santos, and the referee wasn't buying it.
Well, nothing hard has really landed, nothing super significant.
Yeah, Santos is fine. He just doesn't have the gas to get out of this horrible situation.
And that's really what it is. I mean, he's exploded out of other things before. He's gotten up, no problem, done this, done that, but he's just too tired.
Cage presence, Shorty Torres. Carlos Matos looking up at the Jumbotron to see his positioning.
I mean, maybe even just to look at the time, you know?
Yeah. 2 minutes.
He doesn't want to try to force anything and possibly tire himself out when he still has 2 more rounds to go.
And
he's under the neck.
For it now.
And he could just gable grip if he wants. He doesn't have to go full rear naked choke behind the head. If he gable grips, he has it, but I mean, overall.
Tightening up. Oh, peeled off as Santos peels off the hand. Great defense from Elias Santos, but he's still in a world of trouble.
I think he's gonna get out of here, and he does. And he gets out.
It's all Carlos Matos here in the 3rd round as he tries to finish off this rear naked choke. Hard to finish someone with just one hand, one arm. You can do it, but it's really difficult to finish someone. And that's why you see Elias Santos guarding that one arm so aggressively and so persistently.
But this is a dominant position. I mean, he's going for submissions. If he finishes the round on top, staying on his back, this might be a 10-8 round. He's trying to squeeze from here. He has the chin blocking. I think he's gonna survive. Oh, is he going out? I think he's going out.
Elias Santos.
He's out.
He tapped. Elias Santos tapped
beautiful
out.
job.
Carlos, the Matador, Matos finishes off Elias Santos with a rear naked choke submission. Oh my goodness. Wow. Absolutely. Talk to that tall man, Shorty Torres.
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, Carlos Matos looked up at the time. He did the veteran thing to make sure that he wasn't, pressuring too much, doing too much. And because of that, he was able to implement his game patiently, nothing too rushed, and get the finish against a very tough opponent, Elias Santos.
And those are actually his teammates.
That was a great job by Carlos Matos.
What a win. Look at him, he looks fresh.
Yeah. Oh, he does. His game plan was Muhammad Ali versus, Evander Holyfield. Let him just tire himself out, explode. All I have to do is survive. It's a hard thing to do, but as long as I can survive, I'll win the remainder of the 2nd half of the fight, and that's what he did in round 3. And we see here, the nice little ground and pound. Just tire out Elias to get that adrenaline going, even though those punches weren't landing. It's making your opponent freak out and tire out. And fighting the submission over and over and over and over again, it's exhausting. But then finally, he gets it there, and he was just too tired to react and retaliate.
Yeah, he was barely able to tap out, Shorty. Never mind, defend against the rear naked any longer. He could barely tap. And boy, I tell you, just the most impressive thing is how good Carlos Matos looks after a fight like that. Looks like he can go another 3 rounds.
The winner of the welterweight division in Titan 75 and the champion of Fighting Force welterweight at 427 in round 3 by submission, the winner, Carlos Matador
see some love between the two welterweights, and that is a good sign. You got to really appreciate the sportsmanship between these two 170-pounders. It was an absolute war back and forth. At times, Elias Santos was in dominant position, and at times Carlos Matos was in dominant position. It was a very close fight, and now you see the Matador showing off that strap to his fans here in Santo Domingo.
And I'm here with your new champion, Carlos Matos. And you pushed through those first 2 rounds. What's your game plan to let Elias tire out and then you can implement your own after?
Lo hiciste muy bien empujando en esos 2 rounds. ¿Cuál era tu game plan enfrentando a Elias?
En primer lugar siempre fue presionarlo hasta que nos diera el error y bueno, pero con el tercero y hubo que capitalizarlo. Easy money, baby! Woo!
Was trying to get the win and pushing through until the 3rd round where he got the submission. Easy money, baby.
And you did a very veteran thing. You did what you needed to do. You looked up at the clock, didn't rush anything. And overall, what do you want next?
Próximamente.
Next, quiero mi título 170 de Titan FC. Lo quiero. ¿Qué dice RD? And you heard him. He wants to fight for the Titan FC welterweight belt. And what Lex just did, he agreed to it. Carlos Matos, your new Fighting Force welterweight champion. Congratulations. Por último, no pido nada. Están apoyando porque solo es difícil. Ya 6 años fajado. Quienes me siguen saben que yo no descanso. Con un poquito más de ayuda, pues bueno, vamos a seguir siendo campeón del mundo la próxima vez.
So Carlos Matos getting the job done here with his 9th